Hey everyone, welcome to the Discover Virginia podcast. I'm Joseph Trahan, your host for the #1 video podcast in Virginia, where we explore the rich history, vibrant culture, and iconic businesses that make our Commonwealth truly special and worth talking about. So get ready as together we discover Virginia.
Hello, everyone. Today on the show, we have the pleasure of speaking with nurse practitioner and owner of Mantra Aesthetic Studio, Erika Cook. Erika, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Erika, I thought for today's conversation, we could discuss, the process of forming one's own aesthetic goals, the importance of doing, the proper research on, one's understanding of their own skin, and the role that you play to empower your clients to feel confident and beautiful in their own skin. How's that sound?
Let's do it. Sounds great.
Wonderful. Well, Erika, can you tell us a bit about your background and your expertise? Anytime we're talking medical field, we want to, of course, verify that. And then, of course, what inspired you to pursue a career in healthcare?
Okay, so I have been a nurse since 2009. Even though I have an advanced degree, which I pursued in 2017, I went to graduate school and got an advanced practice family nurse practitioner degree. And with that, a family nurse practitioner has the power to prescribe and create treatment plans and everything that you would, do when you go to your primary care doctor. We do the same job. Most of my nursing career I spent in the hospital. ICU, floating medical surgical units, cardiac units. I did that for 8 years before I pursued my graduate degree. You wanted to know what made me pursue nursing?
Yeah, so healthcare in general, it sounds like from an early start, you were really diving into that world of healthcare. And then I know something changed for you and for a lot of us during COVID. Would you mind talking about that shift and how you then transitioned to the aesthetic world?
I think for everyone in the healthcare field, COVID was a complete burnout. I mean, it was something unprecedented. The world completely shut down, and we had mandated hours during that time. At the same time, children were home, providers were still having to work. That burnt a lot of us out. Even though I've really loved family practice, which the setting that I did work in was in an underserved and uninsured community health center. And I loved it. I felt like when the capitalism gets mixed with the medicine, it blurs the line, it impacts the quality of the care you can give. And that was exponentiated. What is the word for that?
I believe it's exponentially, but never. It makes it bigger. It makes it a problem that can be solved bigger and more difficult to solve, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it was worsened with COVID, and it really shined a light on the fact that, although I was doing something that I did like, my dreams weren't being fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was living in my purpose. So at that point, I took a step back with no plan. I had zero plan when I put my resignation in, besides walking towards my passion, hoping that my purpose will find me. So I just took a step toward everything that I love doing in family practice: weight loss, hair loss, functional medicine. I started to get advanced education in all of those things and tried to fuse it together the best way I could. Started off as a virtual clinic. And that was great. I wanted to go brick and mortar. And again, just walking towards the things that I loved. I said, what's something that you've always wanted to do in nursing that you've never gotten a chance to do? And I remembered that I had a job offer in aesthetics 13 years prior when my child was young.
Oh, wow.
And I did not have a babysitter on Saturdays, and I had to decline the job offer. And at the time I was devastated, but as a mom, you have to go on with your life and keep working. And so I said, well, why not go back to that? Let's see what comes of it. Sure. And I just put myself out there. I obtained a position in aesthetics, and 3 years later, here I am.
Wow, what a journey. I mean, especially too, because nursing in the medical field, that takes so many years of school and education and training. And then you, after all of that, decided to go back and then further focus in on this world of, holistic wellness and
Yeah.
aesthetics. And we're so glad that there are people out there like you, Erika, that do this.
Thank you.
I'm curious, how did your experience in urgent care and family practice really shape your approach to the holistic wellness side of the world that you were then, that you are now in?
So in the beginning, I sought education in functional medicine and weight loss and things like that because I felt like uh, I was pill pushing. I hate to say it, but I felt like I was pill pushing to patients. I wasn't addressing the root cause. So I'm a question asker, somewhat of a rebel, always looking for a way to make processes smooth.
Sure.
And so that was going back for functional medicine and weight loss was a way for me to be able to provide better care in family practice. But in doing that, it opened up a world of like, oh my gosh, you've been missing all of these good assessments, all of the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s of medicine, really. And when I took the transitions to aesthetics, this background really helped me to be able to address my patient in a holistic manner. A lot of people don't realize a lot of weight conditions have to do with hormone levels, have to do with vitamin levels, which then snowballs into organ functions like thyroid functions and kidney functions, which then affect skin, blood pressure, cholesterol.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that our health is not a one size fits all approach? It requires different research and insight into the patient.
If it was, I think everybody would be in the field.
Yeah. I love that, Erika. And so when it comes to this world of aesthetics, I'd love for you to cover next any misconceptions or possible misunderstandings you have with clients initially that you'd like to go ahead and address now, just to define the terms and clear the air for any misconceptions out there about the field.
So aesthetics, it really refers to a visual, how you're a look, how you want to portray yourself to the world. With that being said, medical spas have a medical aspect to them. So when the patient comes to see me, I'm not only concerned about the look that you're trying to achieve, but medically, are you qualified for the treatments that I provide? And does it make sense? Are there any mental health aspects that I should be concerned about, like maybe body dysmorphia? Is there a divorce or a huge stress event that's pushing this? Is this what you want? Is this what your partner wants? There's a lot of things that we look at in the background to make sure that we're properly caring for the patient. At the end of the day, aesthetics, a med spa is a fusion of medicine and aesthetics. And so you really have to make sure you're able to put it all together. And I think that's how my background plays a part in my business, because I'm able to look at the patient as a whole. I'm able to look at their med list. I'm able to see what conditions they have, how does this affect our outcomes, and explain it to them, and then suggest the most appropriate way to get there.
Right. And so for those folks who, holistic that could be a long list of things. Would you mind, Erika, next explaining the variety of treatments you offer once you have, of course, talked with the patient and understand their medical background and also, their motivations, specifically your services at Mantra Aesthetic Studio?
Yes, so I offer Botox, I offer dermal fillers, I offer holistic all natural dermal filler from your blood, which is called PRF. I offer medical weight loss, I offer medical hair loss, I offer skin rejuvenation services, so laser, chemical peels, microneedling, and laser hair removal.
Gotcha. And so what should clients expect from treatments? Let's say something like, PRF holistic anti-aging and liquid lipo. Like, what should clients expect from those types of treatments?
So PRF is a little bit different. That has to do with collagen rejuvenation. So that would be someone that comes in that either feels like they have very dull skin, they have fine lines and wrinkles, maybe they have a lot of wrinkling under their eyes or a lot of hollowness under their eyes.
Sure.
And they're wanting to revive that. I can draw your blood in the office, spin it down just like as if you were in the lab, and separate all of the growth factors in your blood from the red part of the blood. And then you just re-inject that or micro needle it over the skin, and it stimulates new skin to build, like new collagen to build. As far as the liquid lipo injections are concerned, they are permanent fat melting injections. They're components. There are a couple of different types of them, but in general, the components are components that you already have in your body. They're just exogenous sources of them, and you inject them, and they permanently destroy fat cells in specific areas. So, I can't give you an IV of liquid lipo, but if you have, a double chin, I can inject the substance underneath in the area and then melt those fat cells.
Sure. And I'd love to hear next, Erica. This doesn't sound like it's just for a specific gender or specific skin type. I mean, this is gender neutral, skin color neutral type of service as well. What type of additional steps do you go through when treating, let's say, male versus female patients, and of course, someone with light or fair skin versus someone with a little bit darker skin?
I'm glad you answered that question, because in the med spa world, we're just now coming around to bringing awareness to treatments for skin of color, because skin of color, it has a different presentation and it is very sensitive to aggressive treatments.
Sure.
And a lot of providers they shy away from it, are scared of it, or some places just don't get equipment that can treat skin of color. They don't feel like they want to get that involved in the medical management of treating skin of color. So with that being said, Mantra is actually a place for everyone. I only provide treatments that are safe for all skin types. I do have a specialty in skin of color, so I'm able to confidently treat and adequately treat issues that affect skin of color. But as far as men, gender-wise, men, women, non-binary, everybody's welcome. There is a science behind how you would inject, let's say if they were getting dermal filler.
Sure.
There's a science behind how you would inject someone's face with dermal filler if they were a man versus a woman, or if they were a man transitioning to a woman, or a woman transitioning to a man. And so you have to take all of that into consideration. Everything is specialized and customized to that patient's, face, their desired look, and how they choose to face the world.
Wow. It sounds like a fun science experiment, really. Just, figuring out what type of aesthetic you're going for, getting the consultation, and then of course, making those modifications from there. I'm curious for you, Erica, obviously the work that you're doing and the service for the different clientele is incredible, because as you mentioned before, similar to a lot of other industries out there, there is a gap, especially for individuals that may not have had as much focal point in the marketplace as some other individuals. So when it comes to, the type of impact you believe Mantra Aesthetic Studio is having on the local economy and also in the community, I'd love to hear how you feel you're playing your part in your role there.
Well, really, I'm here to support in more than one way. As far as the medical aspect of it, I do medical weight loss and I do medical hair loss. I'm not sure if you are aware, but if you want to see a dermatologist, you may have to wait 6 months for anything.
Sure.
A rash or whatnot. Dermatology specialists are very far and few between, and hair loss specialists in dermatology are even smaller. There are 4,000 different types of hair loss. And skin cancers are on the rise, and so are immune rashes like psoriasis or eczema and things, or they get inundated. Their dermatologist offices are super busy, and so I'm the person that can bridge that gap to help work the patient up, to get them in a seat to see a board certified provider that can provide the services for the hair loss. I have the time to focus on that, whereas they may not, because they're seeing so many patients. Same with weight loss. I have the time to focus on the counseling, focus on the real world application of weight loss, not just here's the shot, here's the pill, shove it down your throat, see you next week or whatever. Like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I have the time to really explain, sit down with the patient and consult with them on how they want to strategically eat and things like that. As far as aesthetics is concerned, the bridge that I gap is really trying to just making this a place for everyone. A lot of men don't feel comfortable coming in med spas, right? Like, I mean, they don't want people. A lot of people in general may not feel comfortable coming in because they don't want people to know they're getting work done.
Well, I mean, even if you just drive by, the average med spa, I mean, there's pictures of, typically fair-skinned women on the
Yeah,
posters outside. It's not
yeah,
always inclusive, to men or to, any kind of, there might be that stigma there of, oh, that's only for, people that have money and people that, are live in this neighborhood, right? It's just kind of
right,
one of those things
exactly.
that, from the outside, it's from the marketing advertising point. That's why I wanted to ask you about that too, Erica, because you are uniquely positioned in a way that, as a person of color, a female business owner, entrepreneur, and also a specialist, that I'm sure you speak to and service a huge part of what's needed in our community, especially in Virginia Beach, with us
Yeah,
being near the ocean, right? I'm doing that for the
yes,
keywords right there. Virginia Beach, coastal Virginia area, right?
yes, yes, and I love it. I do consider myself team underdog, and
Yeah.
like everybody says that, and so it's like, when you walk in, I've had patients tell me what, or even make Google reviews. Like, I don't have to feel like a supermodel to be there. Like, I feel warm,
Yeah.
I feel welcome, and that's really what I want people to feel when they come in. Yes, it's an upscale, vibe,
Of
but
course.
also
Of course.
too, you also feel comfortable, and you feel like it's a safe space to be able to be yourself, let your guard down, because that's really how you get to the root of how you want to look. How do you want to face the world? You have to be in a space to share that. You know what I mean?
Mm. Well said. Well said. And last one for you, Erica. So before we get to our wrapping things up, we do have a fun segment coming up for you, but we got to get through this last question here. When
Okay.
you think of the future plans
Mhm.
or upcoming events, I know you have a couple different speaking events that are coming up. Can you share anything with us in the audience today about the things that Mantra Aesthetic Studio have upcoming? Or anything that they can participate in for engaging with the community and such.
So I'm actually getting ready to look into vending at some events, really being able to do like skincare analysis on the spot, and be able to provide skincare advice. I can't take my needles with me everywhere, unfortunately. So
Sure, sure.
you can't do injections everywhere, but at least being able to give a good consultation and suggest treatment plans on the spot, I think, is a good option. Also, you can find me on social media. So, I'm always reachable. I love to do reels answering questions. So if anyone has questions for me, please DM me and I will create a reel or get right back to you if it's appropriate.
Love it. Love it. Erica, thank you so much for your time today. We do have a final section, a red carpet that we'd love to roll out for you to share any final words. But in order to get there, you have to answer some rapid fire questions. Should you
Okay.
choose to accept, you get an opportunity to broach the red carpet. Are you in?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
All righty. First rapid fire question for you. Favorite skincare product, and we'll put a disclaimer for yourself.
Super Goop Glow Screen. It's a tinted sunscreen.
Ooh, tinted can't go wrong with sunscreens, right?
Yeah.
Favorite season of the year here in the Virginia Beach area.
Oh, I'm so basic. Fall, pumpkin spice, everything. Uggs, give it to me. Starbucks, yes.
Love it, love it. And last one for you: a favorite book or movie that you enjoy rereading or rewatching, regardless of the season.
Soul, but it's a Disney movie.
Yeah. Oh, is that the jazz one?
Yes, that's one of my favorite movies.
That's a great movie. Great
Yeah.
recommendation. Love it. Love it. Well, Erica, you've made it to the end of the rapid fire question section. The crowd is, of course, cheering you on from the sidelines because Erika, go ahead and share any final words. The floor is all yours.
Well, I want to thank you first for bringing me on and allowing me to share my platform. You can find me on Instagram at mantra.aestheticsvb or np.injectorlocks. You know, I'm just happy to be here. I have taken the steps towards my passion. I feel like I have found my purpose, and I'm here to share everything I can offer with the world and bring all of my clients the outcomes, the best outcomes they can get, and help them face the world how they want to be seen.
Love it. Love it. Erika, thank you so very much for your time. And of course, thank you to our dedicated listeners for checking us out on another episode. We hope you enjoyed it. So go ahead and leave a review, hit that like button, drop a comment, and we hope to see you all in another episode very soon.
Thank you.